Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go-to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world. Whether you're just starting out or scaling up, this is your space to connect, learn, and grow alongside a community of trailblazing women who, just like you, they are making their mark in the world of business. From personal branding to powerhouse marketing, from leadership to lifestyle tips, we've got you covered. So get ready to ignite your passion, fuel your purpose, and unlock your potential with Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. Let's make this journey together and turn your entrepreneurial dreams into reality. Hey guys, and welcome so much to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. Guys, we're actually here and spotlighting the visionary woman making waves in the business world of wellness and empowerment. Today, we're thrilled to introduce you to a trailblazing force of nature. She's known as the Queen of Feeling Fabulous. She has also shattered and also broke ceilings in the industry, from telecommunications to wellness to empowering women to embracing their unstoppable potential. As the CEO of All Day Cable, Inc., the first woman owned, minority-owned telecom installation company, I hope I have that right, in the United States, and the founder of Blissful Living for You. Her legacy is one of the resilience, transformation, and undeniable success. I am super excited to introduce you to Rochel Marie Lawson. Hey!
Hey, and it's Rochel Marie.
I always do this wrong. Rochel, right?
That's okay. Just channel your French heritage from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Rochel.
Rochel Marie.
Marie. Rochel Marie. Like it. All right. So Rochel, do you mind telling me a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey and how it actually got you to where you are right now?
No, not at all. I love sharing it. My entrepreneurial journey has not been the traditional route. I mean, I knew when I was a little girl that one day I would grow up and be a business owner. I didn't know what, but as you grow up, you get pushed into different things. Long story short, it began when I finished engineering school with my second degree. I finished electrical engineering school and I'm from Silicon Valley. So I grew up in Silicon Valley, born at the famous Stanford Hospital and all of that. But at that time, Silicon Valley was more of an electronics industry. And so you had all the electronic people that were working on products for the Cold War that we were still having at that time, thriving. IBM, Hewlett Packard, Memorex, Intel, all FMC, defense contractors, all of that. So finished electrical engineering school, set out to interview. Back in the day, you had to fill out an application on paper and then drop it off at human resources, all that kind of stuff. Wait for the phone call where you could pick up the phone, connect it to the house wall. And so I set out and just knew I was just going to be that girl, like that girl, Marla Thomas, back in the day when I was growing up, dating myself, and got interviews. And I was so happy. But time and time after I interview with these big, large corporations that are in existence today, I would hear, "Oh my God, you're fabulous. You have so much wisdom. Your skill set is great for someone your age." So, they probably want to say someone my gender as well, but we would love to hire you. Oh my gosh, you would be such a great asset. And then the gentlemen that would be interviewing me that were like in their mid-40s would sit back in their chairs and their face would change and they would say, but you're going to be working around men that are your father's age. And until we can figure out how to make them comfortable, we can't hire you. we can't hire you yet, but we want to hire you. So stay by the phone. We're going to be calling you. I'm still waiting for that call today. And so what is a girl who's, not now I've got 2 degrees. Well, I can't get a job. I'm going to go back to school. So I went back to school, got a nursing degree, right away got a job working as an ER trauma nurse, only female, working with all male colleagues. And it was great. And after doing that, we're working nights. The husband was working during the day, wasn't seeing each other. We're like passing ships in the night. One day I told him, because the company you work for, because their clients are always asking for you, we could start a business ourselves. Now I had no idea how to start a business, but I went down to the city, got the business license, and bam, started a business. The funny thing is, within 2 weeks, we had our very first customer, who was, and still is, a customer today, one of the largest financial institutions in North America. And they gave us premier carte blanche. We became their premier vendor for all of their West Coast operations when it came to telecom installation. Now, still back in the day, it was still phones and connected to the wall and all of that, but it has evolved. And then within that end of that month, we acquired 7 of the big 8 accounting firms in San Francisco as our clients. And that got us going like gangbusters. But I still worked nights in the emergency department part-time, because I wanted to make sure we had benefits, and what if one of these customers didn't pay, and it would, and I love working in the emergency department, which has prepared me for what I do today. But my journey as an entrepreneur just kind of started out of, I couldn't get hired in my career choice with my degree. Just really wanted to spend time with my husband. I was young, and we were just like 2 ships passing in the night, and that's really how it started. And here I am, 34, 35 years later, still the CEO of that corporation, majority shareholder. But then it led me to embark on another business, which is Blissful Living for You, which is focused on wellness, wisdom, and wealth for women. And that business is, I help women entrepreneurs, career professionals, to really not only have the life of their dreams, all the material things, but to be able to live the life of their dreams by balancing the pillars of wellness, wisdom, and wealth, so that they can pass on to their future generations that legacy.
Oh my God, that is so amazing. You just brought up so much. So the first thing is, I love the fact that you've admitted to doing more than one thing, because I find that most entrepreneurials do more than one thing. Sometimes we have to have that job, like you said, because we still need the security inside of us to know we have benefits, to know we have other income coming, because if something doesn't happen or something doesn't go right, we want to fall back. We want to make sure we're covered. Am I right?
Right, for sure. It was, it really was that. I am happy to say I'm still licensed. I don't practice clinically anymore, but I'm licensed in multiple states. And I think the reason why I say I'm going to keep my license is because it was so hard for me to get in my certifications. Now, I don't carry all those certifications and all of that anymore, but I'll probably be a licensed nurse until I'm 85, when they say, look, honey, you're too old to renew. Where are you going to work at 85? But I think it's my badge of courage, because I didn't have to go back to school to get that nursing degree. I went back to school to get the nursing degree for 2 things. A friend of mine told me, you should become a nurse, because I'm really intuitive. And so I'm like, let me apply. And I got into the program right away, and lo and behold, that's what it is. But I actually realized that I've been a caretaker all my life. I took care of my brother, who is 4 years younger than me. He had very severe asthma when we were growing up. And when my mom wasn't around, I was the only person that knew how to handle his asthma attacks. And, I took care of my mom. I took care of my dad. I took care of cousins. I was the one, even though I was the only girl in my generation of grandkids, when one of my cousins would fall, cut themselves, or me, I'd like be out there trying to patch it up with Band-Aids and, all kind of stuff. So I've always been a caretaker at heart. And I always have been an empath, empathetic, and I sometimes absorb other people's feelings and emotions. And I think one of the gifts of that is it has allowed me to be a phenomenal nurse, particularly working in the emergency room trauma arena when I did. So also, it allows me to be a phenomenal business owner because I'm intuitive and I'm empathic. I can pick up on trends before they happen, and then I can brace my business and prepare my businesses for these ever evolving trends, so that we're strategically positioned in the right place. So like with this technology today, when I started my business, there was no computers, this is all evolved, but I saw a trend happening, and I would send my employees, which were all guys. There's a theme here, me and the guys, but I would send my employees to get training on things that I foresaw that was the future, which is now the future today. So yeah.
I get it. So let me ask a question about the intuitive empath. Okay. Because don't you find that we have a tendency to see things way in advance? We'll start something because I find most entrepreneurial women do have this gift and sometimes don't realize it. So they'll see something to start something, but it's not the right time. And they have to have the patience to have the world grow to their what they see. Can you talk about that? Because I'm sure you've had that.
Oh my goodness, yes. So when the advent of me being the intuitive empath, there's one thing I want to say. I do not absorb other people's energy, but I help to, because I'm empathetic, I can see the energy, and depending on what it is, I can prepare myself to navigate through it. So when it comes to my business or my businesses, for one, my telecom company, as we move deeper into the 90s, I could see a trend. We went from the latest and greatest thing of having a pager, and then a pager that you could get a text on, to having these big old cell phones that you could spend a lot of money to have in your car, to cell phones coming down to this, to I had one that was this big, and Nokia. I don't even think that company exists anymore, but I saw the advent of that. And so I had mentioned to my ex-husband, now at the time, I said, hey, we're still married. I said, hey, I think we should get into residential construction. They're starting to wire these homes, to be prepared, whether it's speaker systems or whatever, but there wasn't the technology available like it is today. And he's like, oh, that's nothing. That's just a trend. It's just fad. It's not gonna, well, lo and behold, we got these houses that could literally run by themselves today. But I saw that. And so we were having a house built in Northern California. I reached out to the developer of the builder, so to speak, and said, hey, let us come in and start wiring your homes, and he's, we had to just go through the whole, long story short, they did use us for a while. And then that trend kind of fell out, but that added another stream of revenue to the company. There's so many times that I'm able to see things, and in the Ayurvedic discipline that I practice, the holistic medicine I practice, there's 3 prominent body types, or doshas, as we call them: Vata, Pitta, Kapha. I'm a Pitta. Pitta's full of fire, but we're also the visionaries, the creators, the innovative people. Stephen Jobs was a Pitta, very visionary, creative, intuitive, that kind of stuff. And we can see things before they happen, even though it may not make sense to other people. Does that make sense? So like Stephen Jobs could see, yeah, he could see the advent of, they were working on computers, the Apple IIc. I have one of their first 100,000 Macintosh computers. It's a platinum computer that I have in my warehouse. That was their 100,000 computer that came off the line, and it's an old school Mac computer, right? But he could see things before they happen, which is why we have the iPhone today, in the evolution of the iPhone. And so I think as a business owner, or an entrepreneurial person, there's so many things that we can see that we take for granted that other people would value because they're not like that and they would pay for it. There was an instance where I told you the story before we started. I used to cut the grass and me and my brother would have these grass competitions. So fast forward, I'm in my maybe early 30s in my house. And I, of course, did all the yard work because, hey, I was the best one to do it. But I thought, what if I started a company? Because, there's a lot of construction in this city and it's all women. I put them in some Daisy Dukes with little tank tops. And we become that female company, yard work, landscape maintenance. I didn't go forth on it, but man, I wish I would have did it because I would have cleaned up because people would drive by my house and see me cutting the grass and be, and the husband was sitting on the porch with his arms folded, maybe having a cup of coffee or back then smoking a cigarette or whatever. And people would stop and the guys would be like, oh man, how'd you get her to do that? And the woman was like, this is not good. This is not good. But if I would have started that landscape maintenance company, who knows? That would have been another stream of income for sure. But again, it's just being, I don't know how to explain it. I think it's a gift. We all have our gifts that's bestowed upon us. And I just think mine is just being that visionary person. And being really intuitive, it's just weird. It's just the weirdest thing. I can't articulate it how I want to, but I think you get the gist of it.
Oh, I get the gist more than you even understand. So I love people probably don't know this yet because I don't let people know, but I believe the numbers are the numbers are the numbers. So I have become a numerologist because I love numbers. I believe God chose you on a certain day. Your name was given by God. My name was not supposed to be Angelique. It was supposed to be Lucretia. He changed that. The registry people came in and my aunt said, no, we're not going to New Orleans with a redhead. So, but there was this famous actress called Lucretia something that my mother did, but now I'm named after the girl from Dark Shadows, Angelique. So
That's so funny because my mom wanted to name me that too. That was a big soap opera back in the day, Dark Shadows, and then finally her name is Rosemary. So finally she was like, at the last minute, my dad was like, no, and she's like, okay, I'll go with Rochel Marie, but she wanted to name me after that lady in Dark Shadows. That's so funny.
Yeah, that is funny. So yeah, so that was just that age group, our parents, but we'll go on from there. So yeah, so you brought up Steve Jobs, so I'm going to make you laugh. Our numbers are exactly the same. Our birthdays are the same, except for he's a little older, but our numbers, our name and everything come up exactly the same. We'll talk about it later, but that's pretty funny. And
Wow.
then, yeah, so I totally understand all of that. And it takes us a while to understand things like that because, we grew up in such a very or era that was, you didn't do any of that. But then when you start researching certain things, you understand a certain thing.
Yeah, and it's a reoccurring theme that comes up for you. And it is really interesting. It's interesting how, like, I had these gifts when I was a little girl, the intuitive stuff. And I guess I was always destined to be a nurse, right? So one of the things I think that makes me a really great nurse is that I can see what is not always out front, so to speak, with people's illnesses. So I could see illness and disease in people that is not always presenting the presenting problem. So when I was a little girl, I'd be with my grandmother, and she was born and raised in Houston, Texas. And I look exactly like her. So I'd be with her and I'd see her friends and I'd be like, oh, you're sick. Oh, and I'm like 4 or 5, right? Oh, you're sick. Oh, you got like cancer. You got darkness in you, or you better go to the doctor. And her friends would be looking at me like, okay, your granddaughter, she's so cute. But what I was seeing was they really were sick, And so finally my grandmother said, if you do that one more time, I'm gonna tan your hide. And if you're from our generation, you know what that means. So I was like, okay, I don't want to get my hide tanned. So but fast forward when I became a nurse, and I was always really intuitive like that, really could know things were going to happen, could see it, could see the people, could still to this day. And so when I became a nurse in the emergency department, I would have patients and we couldn't figure out what things were going on. And so I would be like, I go to the doctor, let's run these tests. Can you do this? Do you mind doing this? Let me do this, right? And lo and behold, we were missing something. But what I would share with them would bring whatever it was missing, the real problem to light. And so it became known as, if you can't figure out what's going on with your patient, have Rochel Marie take a look at that patient. I guarantee she's going to see something that we're missing, or, that doesn't make sense or is not adding up. And so I think that's just a gift. But it was, my grandmother did, now she's probably like laughing as I'm telling the story, because she's passed away. She passed away when I was 25 years old. So it's been a long 34 years. But, she's probably laughing because she's like, I knew she had that gift. But, as a 4-year-old telling somebody they got cancer, they got darkness in there that's creeping up through their body and they're going to die, again, probably not the best delivery coming from a 4-year-old. They thought the little 4-year-old girl was crazy. But, fast forward, it's been a gift that's helped me in many, many instances, whether it's my telecom business, my Blissful Living for You business, or just in life in general. So don't ever discount what your gifts are. Don't let people tell you don't have a gift when you know you have a gift. You may have to keep it quiet for a little bit until humanity evolves, like what we're talking about. I was always into numbers when I was a kid, but I didn't know what that was. And I grew up and found out it's numerology. And so I got a ton of questions to ask you, but you know what I mean? It was like, until humanity evolves and catches up with us, we are in the age of Aquarius now. So that's when it becomes time to let your gifts that you might keep hidden shine brightly.
So tell us a little bit about Blissful Living for You and what it's about and what you do for women, because, we're all about empowering the woman. So tell us about it.
So Blissful Living for You came about, it was actually a holistic spa in Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area. And I specialize in detoxification. So I do this therapy called a bliss therapy. But my real thing was detoxification. I was teaching detoxification to physicians at the International Medical Association conference, where it'd be like sometimes 15,000 physicians. I was teaching them about detoxification and how it's a key to longevity. Because I had my own journey with my health and well-being, 17 years. But so as I'm doing this and evolving and going out to conferences and still working my telecom business and all of that, stroking my male side, but my Blissful Living is my female side. What I realized is women, and I was very guilty of this myself, we neglect our own health and well-being. We neglect ourselves to take care of those that we love and care about first. And we always say, oh, I'll do it at the end of the day. Oh, I'll take a bath later or whatever. It never happens because we run out of time at the end of the day. So we have these little subtleties. Our body begins to talk to us and say, you might have that pain in that elbow every now and then, but then it becomes every day. Or your hands might feel tight or cramped every now and then, but then it becomes every day. And the louder our body speaks to us, the more we need to pay attention to it. But the louder our body speaks, we continue to discount it. So what I realized was, women, we neglect ourselves. We don't always have the right mindset to understand we're neglecting ourselves and that we should put ourselves first. And we don't always manage our wealth. And so as I'm ebbing and flowing through all these entrepreneurial things and being with women that are way, way, way more successful to me, the common theme was wellness, wisdom, and wealth. And so I began to take the practices of Ayurveda and focus them on wellness, wisdom, and wealth. How can you be healthy and well when you don't even know what your predominant natural nature for your mind and body is? So with Ayurveda, the beautiful thing about that is we are all unique. We have this unique essence, which is called our dosha. It's comprised of three, it could be one, two, or all three of the doshas, but the doshas are vata, which is mainly air and ether, pitta, which is fire and earth, and then kapha, which is earth and water. And so these doshas, or the unique essences, are created at the moment that little egg says, come on, baby sperm, I'm gonna let you come in and we're gonna make a baby. That's when your unique dosha is created. No one on the earth has the same dosha makeup as you. But when you know what you are naturally predisposed to and how you should naturally flow, you will understand and begin to see when you're out of balance. And it's within that context of restoring your natural balanced state that you're able to have the right mindset or wisdom to manage your health and well-being, and to understand that you need to put yourself first. You're able to generate wealth that flows with your unique essence. So you're not trying things, losing money, you're actually doing things that help you to build and sustain wealth. And then take it to a bigger component, your business. Each business has what I say an Ayurvedic dosha makeup, and each person within your business has their unique doshas. So you can utilize Ayurveda to make sure that, I'm going to say Jenny, who's a secretary. Well, Jenny, she's a great secretary, but she's got a brilliant mind in engineering. You make sure Jenny's doing what she is naturally predisposed to do, where she will shine bright like a diamond. And then you can build your teams based on the natural flow of the doshas and how they ebb and flow and work together. And you can allow for your business to be set up where there's mandatory 10-minute meditation affirmation sessions, or a quiet room where someone can, go, if they're having just that kind of day, they just need to go into the quiet room and just regroup for a few minutes or whatever. Or like with my telecom company, mandatory breaks. Well, I don't care if back in the day they were smoking. People don't smoke as much no more, but go take your 10-minute break or your 15-minute break just to step away, ground yourself, rebalance yourself, so that you can come back and be the best that you can be. And so I love Ayurveda, and I love Blissful Living for You, because I'm able to incorporate my 5th degree from school, Ayurvedic medicine, into what I do and what I share with people, how they can have just that beautiful ebb and flow, as I say, as they travel down their path to bliss in life.
Oh my God. Love it. Love it. And I bet you could just look at somebody from even on Zoom and go, blah, 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 blah. Huh?
Yeah.
That it's that easy for you. For everyone else, they don't know it yet.
They don't. And here's the thing. They can always go to my website, blissfulliving4u.com. Take the dosha quiz. You'll find out exactly what your makeup is of your dosha, your unique essence, and you'll get goodies to help you what type of foods you should eat, what you should do for your mindset, how to recognize when you're out of balance, and things of that nature, when you should do a detoxification. How do you even know you might need a detoxification or not? But you get all this wisdom that you can incorporate into your life, along with Western medicine. They ebb and flow beautifully, that will help you to stay healthy and well in your mind, body, and spirit. And then you can begin taking that and build generational wealth.
So I don't even have to ask you what your giveaway is. You just told them. I love it.
It's just so yummy. And I just people think it's oh, this is woo-woo stuff. But Ayurveda is a ancient holistic modality that originated in India somewhere between, they say, 3,500 and 7,000 years ago. And it's all natural herbs. You don't put any toxic substances in your body like we do with sometimes Western medicine. To get rid of something, I got to put a toxic substance in my body, and I get rid of that one disease, but causes other problems. Now then I got to take other medications, because now I got to circumvent the side effects from this one medicine, and then it becomes just a never-ending cycle. And so I'm helping people to educate themselves. Now they work good hand in hand. Western medicine works hand in hand with Eastern or Ayurveda, but when you have somebody that can guide you, like I am, then it becomes a lot easier. And I say, I don't do anything. I help women to transform their lives into the dreams they desire to have. So I say I'm a dream lifestyle transformation facilitator. I just help facilitate the transformation. You got to do the work.
I like that. I love that. And talking about transformation and empowering people, I think you have a conference coming up or a seminar.
Yes. So my summits are called the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable Women Summits. And again, we're all queens, ladies. I'm giving you permission today to recognize, as my cup says, you are a fabulous queen, and don't ever let anybody tell you you're not a queen. We're all queens in our natural birthright. Hey, we have to carry a baby for 9 months. You know what I mean? Men don't do that. and they're kings all the time. So anyways, I'm digressing,
And
but
they don't have menstrual cycles either. Hello.
oh no, that's a whole nother
They would like
show.
not be able to function.
No, and I've got some, if you're menopausal, premenopausal, postmenopausal, I got some good herbs that I can recommend for you to take that are natural, that will help you with those symptoms. But the summit, the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable Woman Summit, came about from the Me Too movements, because a lot of those stories in 2019 were my stories of when I was young, jobs I got hired for, how I got hired, why I got hired, things that were attempted on me while I was an employee. And so I thought, I've done a lot of stuff. I've been a speaker on Capitol Hill 3 times, invited in the 90s. I was a president of a national woman-owned business organization, sat on that board of directors for 8 years. I sat on a major healthcare organization's board of directors in California as the only female for 25 years. And so when I thought about it, I'm like, I want to bring women together. We don't have to compete. There is no competition. We can all collaborate. And so the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable Women Summits are about building, sustaining, and expanding your business empires like the most successful queens in the history of the world. Nefertiti, Queen Elizabeth II, and all the other great queens that have built their empires. But not only that, we cannot forget any women. In order for us to be the change agents to make the world a better place, we can't forget any women. And so when I relocated from most of the time from California to Texas, San Antonio area, I realized I'm in the military city. I don't see our women veterans. I don't see them on TV. When I hear the word veteran, I think of a man. We all do. The men in San Antonio, it's the military city USA. Every military base boot camp is in San Antonio. The men wear, they veterans. They wear it all over. You don't ever see the women. My niece served in Desert Storm. One of my best friends is the first African-American female combat pilot, and she would go in hostile when they were shooting and blazing to save soldiers. We don't hear these stories. So I'm like, in order for us women to be the change agents to make the world a better place, we can't leave any women behind. So I'm like, I got to bring the veterans. So I create a platform for women veterans. I honor and recognize women veterans in the community doing wonderful things to help other women transition from military life to civilian life because they have it really hard.
That is a rough one. That is a rough one.
Yes, I donate to the organization that said yes to me giving them money to support women veterans, the Women's Veterans Alliance in Sacramento, California. I wanted the director to share with me stories. She is a woman veteran. When she started sharing these stories with me, it broke my heart. It broke my heart. Think about it. Next time you see a veterans commercial on television, look at who they show. When you see a Wounded Warriors commercial on television, look at who they show. Rarely or ever do they show women, but we have those same individuals in our society that are forgotten. And so what I do is bring the women veterans, I include them, they get discounted tickets, and then I bring them up into the front of the room. So if they've never heard it before, we at my summits thank them and honor and recognize them for the service and the commitment that they've made to our country and the sacrifices that they've had to make. Some of these ladies have had babies and had to leave their babies. I know one lady who was an officer and was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. When she went to the Veterans Administration, they told her they didn't have anything to help her. She ended up being homeless with her son while she was going through cancer treatment, and went back into the armed services and got deployed and went off to fight in Afghanistan after she was recovered. But yet she was denied help by the same administration or organization that's supposed to provide for our veterans, no matter what gender you are. So anyways, I'm digressing, but
no, I mean, it's part of what you do.
Yeah, and it's impactful and powerful. So here I got to share this story. So that's the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable Women Summit. It's coming up in San Francisco in February in 2025. But one of my summits, not this past one, but the year before, I had a lady, was a woman veteran. She served in World War II. I didn't know this when she came in the room. She was in a mobilized wheelchair, and I knew she was an elderly woman. I just thought she was just coming to the summit. Long story short, went to talk to her. She is a World War II veteran. And women back then couldn't even serve with the men. She's in the Air Force, and they had I forgot what they were called. I don't want to do her a disservice by saying the wrong name. But here's a beautiful thing. She stayed with us the whole day. She even went to the cocktail happy hour VIP sessions after the event. And then and during the event, ladies went and got her lunch, other women veterans and ladies that were there to make sure she was taken care of. She was this dynamo lady, and her picture is on the website if you go.
Is that who's
But
on the website? Oh my God, so
it
cute.
is. It is. And you'll see her, she's in the mobilized wheelchair. But here's the funny thing. I didn't find this out till last year that I thought she lived in San Francisco. So she actually lived in Oakland, California, which is across the bay. She had to maneuver to come from across the bay into San Francisco, 1 block from Union Square, where the venue by herself, and then she had to navigate to get home by herself. Now, she probably had paratransit or something like that come, but the fact that she felt it was imperative for her to come to my event and do all of that by herself just warmed my heart and soul. She's amazing. And she was 84 then. I'm not sure if she's still around with them. But that shows the power of women. And that shows the power of women that are brave, bold, and unstoppable. And so that is what I'm creating with that community, to allow women who are brave, bold, and unstoppable to not have to be apologetic for them being brave, bold, unstoppable women, but to come together collectively so that we can be the change agents to make the world a better place.
Love it. I love it. I love everything you're doing. It's just so amazing. And I mean, women, I got chills up and down my body. So I know anybody who's listening or seeing this is going to be the same way. Because they can feel your passion, your heart, and where you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everything you've done and been through, what would you tell your 18-year-old self?
Woo! That girl was talking about fire. She was full of fire. So I would tell my 18-year-old self, one of the things, I have written 9 books, and my last book is a book called 365 Days of Affirmations for a Year Bliss. And I was turned on to utilizing affirmations when I was 10 by a very famous athlete back in the days. He's a gold medal winner. Let's leave it at that. But one of the things that I would share is with my 18-year-old self is being open to receive miracles in miraculous ways, and don't expect them to come packaged beautifully. And so oftentimes we don't open up our mind to miracles. When we face a challenge, we feel defeated. But sometimes within that defeat, there's a nugget of gold waiting right at the bottom of that defeat for you to grab and take off running with. And so just staying open to receiving the miracles in our lives is a blessing, because that actually helps you to have a better journey, I should say, as you travel down your path to bliss. And I know people have heard that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And I would say it definitely is about the journey. You will meet people along the journey that will walk with you for a little bit and then they go off. You'll get other people that will walk with you for a long time and then you guys have a falling out or whatever. You get other people that you guys are walking together, a boulder comes up, they decide it's too hard and they go back the other way, right? And then you'll get those people that are your ride or die, and they will walk with you. They'll walk with you through the storm, through the boulder, how to get around that beautiful tree. But the journey is so impactful. It's so beautiful. It's so powerful. And that is where the miracles happen. So if you don't get caught up in all the stuff and just continue to enjoy the journey, wake up every day, be grateful that you're able to wake up every day, even though you may be going through some challenging things, it's a blessing, because when you wake up every day, you have that new day to change the day to make your life the way you want it to be. That's it.
That's awesome. I'm going to go back a minute. I love the fact that it's not going to come packaged pretty.
Mm-mm.
And
Mm-mm.
sometimes, like you said, we don't, I mean, it might come in a brown paper bag, lunch bag.
Or garbage bag.
So just know it's your path and just walk through, be willing to walk through it and learn that it's not, correct?
Yeah, and that too. Like you will know. There are always things as long as you keep moving forward. And I say, take even if you got to. I don't know if you played that game Mother May I when I was a kid. Did you ever? Okay, you know how you say Mother May I take 5 baby steps? Yes, yes you can. You know, but if you took the 5 baby steps without action, you got slapped back, right? Yep, go back to the start, right? But just know that it's not going to be always pretty. It's not going to be easy by no means, but you just got to keep, even if you got to take a baby step or inch or a quarter inch, as long as you keep moving forward, the forward momentum will propel you forward, right? They always say when you get trapped in the ocean, don't swim against the current, swim with the current. Even if the current is taking you out, you swim with the current because eventually the current will settle and you'll be able to get back to shore safely. And so I say the same thing, even if the journey is difficult, you can't see your way out of it no matter what you do. Just take a baby step forward. Always give thanks to the divine for waking you up and then knowing that he woke you up for a purpose. And the purpose is to take that baby step or that giant step or that mile step forward. But you have a purpose and no one can fulfill your purpose here on earth but you.
I love that. That is so true. All right. So with a purpose, if you had a superpower for and
Hmm.
one day only, what would you want that superpower to be?
I was going to say the word I said before we started talking, but I think my superpower would be to heal the world of the illnesses that affect not only adults, but our most vulnerable population and our children. Um, I've, seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, but it always would break my heart when children come in for whatever reason and had to be admitted. They were really sick or abused or whatever. Children are a gift. They're a blessing to us, right? And so we should honor and recognize every individual soul on this earth, good, bad, or indifferent, is a blessing because without them, we wouldn't know where we stand in our place here on earth. And so, yeah, my superpower would be just to continue empowering everyone to be the best that they can be on any given moment in any given time during the day because it will ebb and flow, trust me, and I would say, and if you can experience those orgasmic moments without actually having to do the do, that's even better.
Hey, whatever works, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And
Whatever
that's what
works.
can happen when you're healthy and well and you got the right mindset, wisdom, and wealth. And you can have
Yes.
those moments. It's just really energetic, right? It's just energy. You can make yourself feel, girl, when I go to buy a pair of shoes, I'm able to tap into that orgasmic feeling just buying a pair of shoes or a cute
It's
dress or
exciting. It's exciting.
yeah, it is. So why not try to create that every day,
Hey, yeah, have fun.
Exactly. That's what life is all
Okay,
about. And sometimes we take it too seriously.
if we're gonna be serious here, our bodies were meant for pleasure.
Yeah,
And, in every experience that you're excited about needs to be pleasurable. So why not
right.
pleasure all day?
Exactly. I'm totally with you. I'm totally with you. But we're two girls that are born in a very special month, so we get each other.
Hey, look, we're a little out, whatever for some people, but we're the jam for a lot of others.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So, what is your favorite book?
My favorite book. Oh my gosh. Okay. So my favorite book is right now is this book here. Oh,
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
It's your
Um,
book. I love it.
yeah, and the reason why, it's my favorite book right now. I mean, I've got a lot of books that I love, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, everything Napoleon Hill's written, all of those guys, right? But this book is my favorite book right now. It's because it's a collaborative book I did with 21 other ladies. And the premise of the book was, if you have words of wisdom that you would like to share with your granddaughter, your great-granddaughter, your great-granddaughter, girls you would never, ever be able to see and meet, what would you share with them that would help them to be unstoppable, and fierce, fearless in life and business? And so myself and the other 21 ladies in the book talk from their heart about words of wisdom they would share with their future female generations they may never get able to meet, that would be able to have, they would be able to have something that they could hold on to. I think about my great-grandmother. My great-grandparents died before I was even born. But what would my great-grandmother said to me, you know what I mean? Or my great-great-grandmother, what would they have said to me? This little tenacious girl that's the only granddaughter in her generation of kids. Would they say, you too tenacious? Or, oh, girl, you know what I mean? Or, you handle boys this way, or you handle business this way. I mean, what would they say to help me in life? And so that's what I wrote my aspect from the book as if I was talking to my daughter, who she hears this all the time, but if I was talking to my children's girls or their girls, my granddaughters or my great-granddaughters, because I wanted to share wisdom that I wish somebody would have shared with me. That definitely would help me to be even more unstoppable in business and life.
I love it. That is a fabulous book. I cannot wait to get it. And
you can get it on Amazon.
I know.
Yeah.
We're going to link you. We're linking you because in the magazine there's a page just for books and you guys' favorite books. So I'm so excited about putting that in. All right, your favorite song.
Oh, well, I have a lot, but I would have to say, because she just pops up in my head. Janet Jackson's I'm in Control. I'm in control. Because as ladies, we are always in control of our destiny. We only become not in control of our destiny when we turn our power over to a man. So I'm in control.
Unstoppable.
Or too. Control. Yeah. Yep.
I like that. That is fabulous. Both of them go so hand in hand. What about your favorite quote?
Yeah. My favorite quotes, I think the theme today is resonating, believe in miracles, but you have to have your eyes open to be able to see the miracle that's happening in your life, which is you.
I love that. That is so true. Who's that quote from? You?
No, I don't even know. I could take claim for it and credit, but I'm sure somebody else said it, but I've had it written down on my computer and I'm like, did I write this during one of my meditations? Because I've had it for years. So I'm like, did I write this during one of my meditation sessions, 30 years ago? Or, but it's like, if I showed it to you, it's all faded. It's old. It's really old. But
we're going to see if we can find it. If not, it's your quote.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I would love to take claim to a quote. I have so many, but not always able to say them on any interviews, if you know what I mean.
I'm good. Your time.
But yeah, no, that one is, and like I said, I have it on my computer. I've had it forever. And then of course, positivity, peace, and prosperity. That equals success.
It does.
Yeah.
I love that. Now, you've already gave us your giveaway already. So what do they need to do again to get your giveaway?
So just need to go to www.blissfulliving4u.com. Scroll on the homepage until you get to Dosha Quiz, and then take the Dosha Quiz and get all the good freebies along with that. And there's some other freebies on the site as well. But that one, I think that will be the most powerful because it will allow you to see what your true essence is, whether you're fire, air, or, earth, and what you can do and how you can start beginning to recognize the imbalances within you, changing your diet if you're having, difficulties with your diet, your digestion, stuff like that. but get a lot of good, yummy stuff. And then you get to stay connected with me and find out everything that's going on, my events, my podcast, my show that I have for women, where we talk about issues that us women face in today's world. It's kind of like me, and then I have a panel of other ladies come on and we just discuss. I state the topic and then we just go into discussion, and they, kind of like The View and those kind of shows, but I love it. I mean, it just, again, the more we can understand each other, the better it makes our world, our society, our city, even our homes much nicer to live in.
Love it. And wait, I've seen a few of them. Don't you wear crowns?
Yes, I was going to wear one today, but I'm like, when I'm being interviewed on someone else's show, it's like, oh, but if it's my podcast, I wear my crowns. And what was so funny is I've been known as the Queen of Feeling Fabulous for probably since 2010. These two ladies gave me that term, named me the Queen of Feeling Fabulous. But I didn't start wearing a crown, and I've had a podcast since 2010. I didn't start wearing a crown until during COVID. I think maybe into 2019 before COVID, but people started sending me these tiaras and stuff during COVID. So I have about 1, 2, 3, I have about 6, and I rotate them. But I thought that was just the cutest gesture. It's like other people recognize that I'm a queen, even if I, just believed it in my own mind. Other people recognize that I'm a queen. So now why not show up like a queen on my show? So,
I love that. Oh my God. I'm known as the Queen of Influence. So I totally get it. So I love.
You need to get you a crown. See? I'm gonna have to get your address and send you one.
I probably have millions in storage somewhere. I just don't dance in school.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you do then. You do. My daughter was a dancer for 15 years. She was a competitive dancer for 15 years. And
we get crap.
Yeah, I wasn't that good of a dancer. I could dance, but not like y'all. Mm-mm.
All right, you're just so cute. I loved having you on. You're so much fun. You're so true. And I can't wait to go take your dosha. I'm going to go take mine and see what I am. I can only assume. I probably know. You already know. I know that. So
got red hair, so just a hint.
I know. I already know. All right, guys. We want to thank you, Rochel, so much for being on. Rochel Marie. I have to get my New Orleans going on. Rochel Marie.
Yes, Rochel Marie.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right. I love you. Thank you so much. I enjoyed getting to know you, and everybody else will too. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.